"You're a little trying at times." He was too much absorbed with his own thoughts to give any immediate answer to my remonstrance. He leaned upon his hand, with his untasted breakfast before him, and he stared at the slip of paper which had just drawn from its envelope. Then he took the envelope himself, held it right to the light, and very carefully studied before the exterior and the flap. "It is Porlock's writing," said he thoughtfully. "I can hardly doubt it is Porlock's writing, though I have seen it only twice before. The Greek E with the peculiar top flourish is distinctive. But if it is Porlock, then it must be something of the very first importance." He was speaking to himself rather than to me, but my vexation disappeared in the interest which the words awakened. "Who then is Porlock?" I asked. "Porlock Watson is a nom de plume, a more identification mark, but behind it lies a shifty and invasive personality. In a former letter he frankly informed me that the name was not his own, and defied me ever to trace him among the teeming millions of the great city. Porlock is important, not for himself, but for the great man with whom he is in touch. Picture to yourself the pilot fish with the shark, the jackal with the lion. Anything that is insignificant in companionship with what is formidable, not very formidable." "Watson, do you hear that?" My dog was just growling. Not growling, like "Ooh," to the ambulance. Anything that is insignificant in companionship with what is formidable, not only formidable, Watson, but sinister, in the highest degree sinister. That is where he comes with my purview. You have heard me speak of Professor Moriarty. Moriarty is the main guy. He's the bad guy. The famous scientific criminal, as famous among crooks as my blushes, Watson," Holmes murmured in a deprecating voice. I was about to say, "as he is unknown to the public." A distinct touch," cried Holmes. "You are developing a certain unexpected vein of pawky humor, Watson, against which I must learn to guard myself. But in calling Moriarty a criminal, you are uttering label in the eyes of the law. And there lie the glory and the wonder of it. The greatest schemer of all time. The organizer of every deviltry. Controlling brain of the underworld. A brain which might have made or marred the destiny of nations. That's the man. But so aloof is he from general suspicion, so immune from criticism, so admirable in his management and self-effacement, that for those very words that you have uttered, he could hail you to a court and emerge with your year's pension as so solitium for his wounded character." He's talking about Moriarty. This is like an audiobook, although I never have a chance to listen to audiobook. But yeah. I wonder what it's like. I haven't read it, I haven't finished it, but I wonder what it's like when actually happened, because there's so many stories, and scenes from Bulletin. And these are kind of play or something, scenes. A dream within a dream. This is nice. And there's for Annie. For some. For a person, I suppose. A dream within a dream. I think you guys like that as well. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow. You are not wrong, who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away, in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar of a surf tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of the golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep. While I weep, while I weep, oh God, can I not gasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? I don't understand it. I have to say, like, I've never really written poems before. I have friends do. That's required for English classes, but I haven't done it. It's actually people here are pretty good at, I would say people here are pretty good at English subjects. Just really high standard, I mean. They, not just English, like rapping. I know this guy, he can just rap so well. And yeah, he just comes all like just out from, he just bursts out while the beat is playing, and it's really amazing. Although you have to be kind of talented and mostly passionate about it. Your heart must be in it for you to be pretty delicately good at something. Okay. There's the raven. Eulalie's a song. Eulalie. Okay, sonnet. Silence. I can do this one. Or sonnet to Zante. Sonnet silence. There are some qualities, some incorporate things that have a double life, which thus is made a type of what twain We had now reached the summit of the Lofus Crag. For some minute the old man seemed too much exhausted to speak. Not long ago, said he at length, and I could have guided you on this route, as well as the youngest of my sons. But about 3 years apart, there happened to me an event such as never happened before to mortal man, or at least such as no man ever survived to tell of. And the 6 hours of deadly terror which I then endured have broken up my body and soul. You suppose me a very old man, but I am not. It took less than a single day to change these hairs from a jetty black to white, to weaken my limbs, and to unstring my nerves, so that I tremble at the least exertion, and am frightened at a shadow. Do you know I can scarcely look over this little cliff without getting giddy? His stuff is quite dark to say. Yeah. You can just tell from the cover. And there's a few that I would like to read as well.